So from your sub-account dashboard, we are going to go to Sites. When we click on Sites, it takes us to another dashboard where we have a number of different features listed within the sites. So, starting from the left, as you can see, we have funnels, website blogs, WordPress membership forms, surveys, chat widget, media, and URL redirect. So all of these are amazing features and we have separate videos for each one of them. So make sure to watch those videos. But today we are going to focus on creating a website. So let's see right now, since the first one is selected funnels. So that's why you see all these different funnels here. But when we click on websites, we are going to see websites that are already created. And if you are new, you are not going to see any websites here. So let's click on Add a New Website button right here on the top right. And when we click on that, we get a pop-up. To the left of the pop-up, we see Go to Template Library. So we can create our new website either by using a template or we can create it from scratch, which is the right side here. So let's take a quick look at the template library and see what is inside this library. Okay, so now we are inside the website template library, and as you can see, there are different categories here, a number of categories, and then each category has different templates. So depending on what type of website you want to create, you have all these different categories and template to select from. And this is an extensive collection. So if you wanted to create a website from a template, all you have to do is just select one. So let's say, for example, this is the template we like. We wanted to select that. So you click on that and then you continue. Okay, so let's say if we continue this, we have to check off this box and that will allow us to get this template. You can also have this template done professionally, but you have to pay extra for this. So for the most part, you may want to use this template as is. So let's say if you want to get this template, you click on this and it will take a couple of minutes. There you go. So we just refreshed the page and the template that we had chosen, it popped up right here. So when you click on this, here's the template and you can actually start building from this template. So these are all the pages. They are shown up. It is taking a little bit of a time for the template to upload because there is a lot of information and there is a lot of detail that needs to be uploaded. So it might take a few minutes. But the idea is that when you upload a template, you get all these pages to work with. You can add more pages to this template and then you have all these other sections within that template. You have pages, you get the stats, sales settings. So these are different settings within the template page that go basically with every website. So if you look at the stats, so you see all these details, page views, opt-in sales, earnings, etc. So these are the details that go with each of your website that you create from the template. And then you have any further details. As your website is, it's been there for a while, and people have been visiting. So you're going to see more data here, right? Right now, we have nothing. And then the settings. So in the settings, you see that the name of the template. You can change that. Then you have the path. You also have the option to add your own domain name. For example, www.your-website. So you can add that here, so make sure that when you connect a domain here, that makes sure that you already have that domain. So when you click from here, this gives you an option to select one of the existing domain that you already have. Or you can add a new domain from here. But this is something that we have a separate video, which is how to add a domain to your website. So make sure to watch that video. So we are not going to go in here. We're just going to go back, and we are simply going to go back to the template that we looked at. We are not going to be working on the template today, like I mentioned before. So let's go back, leave this template here, and so get back to creating a new website. The project that we have today, we are going to create a new website from scratch. So that was the project. So that's why we are going back here. Okay. So this is again, we are back. We click on the new website. And so this is the option that we just saw where you can select any of the templates and work on that. Or this is the option that we are going to use today. And in this option, what we have here is we have to add the name of the template, the name of our website. My new marketing website. Okay. So we are going to create this website from scratch. So when you do that, it shows you a blank page. So in other words, unlike a template where you already got 6, 7 pages, when you create a website from scratch, you do not get any pages. You have to add everything. And that's the project that we are going to do today. So let's add a new page to our new website. As I mentioned before, you have the same option like we saw earlier in the template page, where you have pages, stats, sales setting. But in this case, we have nothing. So we are going to create a new page here. So this page usually is your landing page or your home page, so we're going to call this home page. So the path would be \home. And then we can hit page. That's it. So that is our path for the first page. Now, if you have a website or if you have a page on ClickFunnels, you can import that page here. Just put the URL here, and we will be able to import that page right here. Alright, we're not going to do that. So let's create our first page. So here's the first page we just created. We said that we're going to create, 2 pages. So in this website, this is a sample website we are creating. So we're going to create a home page, and then we're going to create a second page, which we are going to call, say, for example, Contact Us page, and we're going to create a path for this Contact Us. So in this place here, it doesn't matter. You don't have to capitalize anything. All you have to do is just do a backsplash, the first word. Then you put a dash where the space is, and then us. And that's it. So you've just created 2 pages. So this is your brand new website with 2 pages. Now, the fun part begins here. So for each page, it says use existing, meaning if you have a page someplace in your system and you want to use that page, because you want to save time, then you would click here. So let's see what happens when we click here. Import action will not import the product configured in the funnel website page. So that makes sense. So if you are importing something, if you import a page from another website that you have, you don't want those products, so you just simply want to get the page and the graphics or the design of the page. That's what you want. Okay, now you're saying that I have a website someplace and I want to pick a page. So when you click on this, so these are all the websites in our system. You can go to a particular website that's already there, and once you've selected that website, and then you can select that page. For example, let's select this website, and now we're going to get the option of the pages. So this is how you can actually import or use an existing page to create a new page. It's pretty simple, there's nothing in here. So if you were to select a page, it would show up here. So this is just an example. I'm not going to create it. I'm not going to select any pages because we are going to create our own page from scratch. Okay, so with that said, let's go back. We want to create our own page from blank. We click on this, and this will take us to Blue, our website builder. This is the website builder that we have. This is how it looked like when you get into it first. First time it's a blank page. You don't see anything. On the top, you have the option of how your page is going to look on the desktop, how your page is going to look on your cell phone. Now, before I get into more details, I do want to say this, that please, whenever you create a new website and when you're working on it, please make sure to keep both of these options in mind, the desktop and the cell phone. You want to make sure that as you are building your website, that it is looking just as good on your cell phone as it is looking on your desktop. A lot of the times we forget about the cell phone part of it and it becomes a problem later on because it gets very difficult to make your website look nice on the cell phone if you don't pay attention to it as you are creating your new website. So keep switching back and forth and keep checking back and forth how your website is going to look on both of these devices. Now you have the setting part of it. You can set the SEO metadata here. What that means is that when you click on that, you see a box opened up on the right side. So what is this? So every page that you create, you want to make sure that that page is independently searchable on Google. And this is how this is going to actually help Google to index your website and bring in more organic traffic to your website. So every time you create a page, you make sure that you set it up. So here you're going to set up a title of your page, a little bit of a description. You want to add the keywords, who wrote this website or who did the text. If you have an image here, you can put the image here. So any image that you want to show in the Google search, Okay, so if you have a small image that you want to show or share on Google searches, you can add that. If you want to add custom meta tags, you can do that. Okay, so this is how all of this is set up, and make sure that you complete that with every page. Alright, so we're going to just cancel this for now. So let's go back to the setting. That's what we're looking at. So this is the meta tag and then the tracking code. The next thing is the tracking code. You can put any code in the header or the footer. A lot of the times when we create website, we have to, depending on if we want to use some additional features or tools, we may need to add some tracking codes here. Okay, so that's what that is for. And after that, you have custom CSS. Most people don't need this. If you know about the computers, if you know CSS, you want to add that to your website to enhance it, great. If not, then you could leave it there. Okay. And then, of course, the background picture. Some people like to use background pictures for their website. So this is the place to add a picture to your page here. The idea is that whatever you add here, it's going to become a background. For example, if I want to add something to my background, I select a picture here, which would be, let's say I want to pick this picture. I select it, and then I can actually right-click on it, get the link, go back, and then I paste that link here. When I paste that, you see, now, this image is going to become the background of my entire page here. But we don't really want to use that. I just wanted to show that to you. We don't want to save it. We just want to get out of here. But I wanted to show you that when you are creating a blank page and you want to add, too. So let's go back to our blank page. So let's click on this again. And we are here. So, going back to the settings, we talked about it, and then typography. Again, this is headline, different types of text color. So anything to do with your writing on the website, what kind of font you want, right? So you can check, pick different fonts, different things for the heading or content font area. So you have different options, and it's not a very big selection, but there's plenty for you to work with. So the idea is that this is where you would select all of these things. So this is another option. Right now we are not selecting anything. I just wanted to show you these are the options that are available when you are creating your website page right now. Next option here is the pop-up. So what is the pop-up? A lot of the time when we have web pages and sometimes people click on a link that you have put in your website, instead of taking them to a new page, you want to give them that information in a pop-up. So this is how you add a pop-up to your website pages. So we can add that when we have our pages. All you have to do is just simply click on Add Row, and you can see these options. You want to add 1 column, 2 columns, whatever you want to add to this pop-up, and we'll take it from there. But you will understand the concept of completing the pop-up once you know how to create the website from scratch. So anything that you learn there would definitely apply to this location. Also, I mean to the pop-up here. Okay, so just leave it for now. And then of course, this is the do-undo. So you have some other basic section on the right side. Whenever you add anything from starting a blank page, you have the option to start your page with a section. Rows, columns, elements. And then you have versions, preview, and save. So the idea is that, let's say when I click on the section part of it, notice that as soon as I click on this, I will get a panel on the right side. Okay, so let's select this section. We want to add a section to our blank page. When I click on it, it says add a section. And then we come up with these 4. So we want a full width wide, medium, small. So let's say if we want to add a full width section to this blank page, okay, now we've added a full width section to our blank page. Always notice the color of everything that you do here because it's very important. So when you add a section, the section is colored in green. And every time you have a section or row or column or element, whatever you have selected here, it will show a related panel on the left side. So in other words, right now this section is selected. I'm working on it. So whatever you see on the left side is related to this section. So any changes that I make here would apply to this section only. So keep that in mind. So we're going to go into this later. Let's say we have one section here. So what is this section? We can name a section Section 1, or we can say header section or main body section, or whatever you want to call this section. You can do that. Now the padding, you have the left padding. You have the right padding, bottom padding, top padding, and top and bottom margin. So let's see if you keep an eye on this when I move this. Padding left. Right now you don't see anything, because the padding is added on the inside. Same thing. Padding right. You don't see anything because there's nothing in here. So the padding on all these four sides, it happens within the box. So keep in mind, so that is the difference. The padding is added inside the box. When you say margin, you have top margin or the bottom margin. The margins are added outside the box, top margin or the bottom. So when we add a top margin, you will see the box is going to move down. You see that because I'm adding the top margin here. Similarly, if I wanted to add the bottom margin, this would have moved up, right? Now there is no space here. That's why it's not moving up. So now we have our section. Now, if you notice that in this section we have different little functions here. This means that you can move this section up and down on the page from here settings. Or you can actually save a section here. This one here is you can drag, you can duplicate it, or you can delete it. So whenever you add a section now, what comes next? You have to add a row after the section. So now you can add a row from here, or you can add a row from here. So let's say if I say add a row, that would be added within this section. So do I want one column? This is a one column row. So added that. So we are going to delete that. We can add a two column row. Two column rows. Now notice that the section is green, the row is blue, and anything inside the element has a purple box. So make sure that you keep these colors in mind because they will help you later as you create the website. And I want to add one single. So let's delete this section. So we want to add just one row, one column here. So this is one column. Now we want to add an element. So notice every time you want to add an element, a pop-up appears here. So these are all your elements here. You can pick any of these elements to add to this. For us, we are going to add a navigation menu. So this is the top of the page. So we want to add a navigation menu. So we have a navigation menu and we can change the name of the business here. We can call it My Business, and then we can actually add an image here. So when this is the box here. So that means that if we want to add an image here, this is selected. And on the left side, we come here. So this is where we put our logo. So for the logo, let's go into this and let's pick a logo here. So let's say if I want to pick this logo, I can either double click on it or I can right click. So here's the logo. Right now I got my business name. Now, this menu already came with 3 different links on the top: Home, About, and Contact. So remember, we said that we are going to create a website with only 2 pages that will be the Home and Contact Us. So we'll work on that. So this is our main menu here. So let's say we want to change the color of this menu here. Now, it is white. You can make it orange. Or you can make it yellow. This is how you change the color. Now, other than that, this is selected. So you see the Home About, and then it says under the above, when you go over it, you have a team. So this menu gives you 4 buttons. So keep in mind that we need to make sure that when our website is completed, all of these buttons, if we want to keep them, they have to be connected to a particular page. So this is the team. Now, another thing is, right now the team is showing under About. We don't want to use the About. So what we can do is we can drag it here and take it out. Now, you see it appeared here. Or we can make it the submenu of About. We hide it here, or we can drag it back on the menu. So this is what you do. So right now we have these 4 pages. So right now, the text alignment on this is select here. You can select this, either one of these options. So this is for your mobile font, and this is for your desktop font size. You can adjust that, both what kind of font you want to use, and then mobile view icon, you can use bars. So this is how you can actually play around with your website. Now, on the top menu, for example, how do you connect this to pages? So when we connect on this one here, click on this and you edit it. There's nothing here. The name is home. And then it says, go to the website URL, meaning that you can add another website or send it to somebody else's website or a different website, or where we can actually link it to a page. So now we're sending this one to this page, and now it's saying which page? So we got to connect the two pages. We have one home page, and then we submit it. So this means that this button is now connected to our home page here right now, the contact page here. So it's contact. So we can actually connect it to an outside website. Or we can say go to page and then we can select contact us page. So remember, we created two pages. So we don't need the team or the about pages. So what are we going to do about this? We are going to simply click here. We don't need this page. We are going to delete it. It will ask for permission. Click OK, and there you go. The page is deleted. In the same way, we will delete team page too. We have only two web pages on this website now. OK. Now, while we are looking at this here, let's take a look at the panel on the left from top to bottom. We didn't do that before, but we can do that now. Alright, so whenever you have selected something here, you're going to see the name navigation menu here. And then you're going to see the padding on the top. Padding on the bottom. So let's see, like I mentioned before, when you add the padding on the top, it's going to push down. This is the padding on the top. If I push the padding on the bottom, see that padding on the left? We don't need that padding on the right. OK. Now margin is on the outside, the top margin, that's going to push the entire box below. So next you have the colors, then you have mobile background. So while you're doing this, you also want to take a look at to see how this is looking on the mobile. This is how this is looking on the mobile. Right. So you want to keep that in mind. Let's go back to the desktop version. Letter spacing, normal text alignment home. We have two pages, font size. So if you look at the font size here, you can move it up and down. So when you add new text, you can change the font size to that. Headline mobile view bars. We don't need that. Or we can leave it here. And then you have all the colors, bold text, all of these details here. So menu item spacing. So horizontal. So this is what you have right now. It's a 5 spacing. You can move it. You can change the spacing of that from here. And then vertical spacing. If you move this, that's the vertical spacing of that. Brand coding logo in menu. You can turn this off or on. So we want to keep the logo in the menu. And then image. So you can change the logo image. You can go from here, pick any image you want. You can double click on it or you can right click on it, get the link, go back and then post that here. And you will get the image here. Pixels. So you can change the size of the logo here to 200 pixels. And 200 pixels. So we could do that. It depends on how you want to do it. We'll just leave it back to 100 pixels here. Brand logo. You can name the logo, whatever you call it, and then actions. If somebody clicks on this action, this logo, what happens? So you could say either nothing happens or go to website URL. So if somebody clicks on this website, then which website you want people to go to? So you want to put down www.mywebsite.com, right, and opening a new tab. So these are all the settings under the general settings. If you want to do the advanced setting, let's see in advance you have text, normal, visibility, custom class, and then you want to give a border or no border, full border. So let's say you want to add a border. Solid border, border width, 10. You want to have border radius 0 opaque. You can make it 15. You see that the corners are now we making it like adding corners, rounded corners. And then you can drop down item spacing. So we don't have any drop downs here. background color in there, and then menu configuration, headline and menu header, layout default. And then you have some other changes here. So we have these advanced features that you can add to any one of the usual boxes. So now this is our menu. Now let's go and add a second section here. So remember, we go out here and now we are going to add a second section, full width. Now we're going to add a row. And within that row we can pick 2 columns or 3 columns. Let's pick 3 columns. So we have picked 3 columns here. And so in this column, add element. When we click on that, we can put element. We're going to put a headline here and then here element. We can pick a picture here. And in this one we can put paragraph here. So these are the 3 items that we added to our website. So let's do the background color here. So let's make it gray. How about this? We didn't do any color on this one. Let's make it light green. So now it's looking a little bit better. Then we're going to put an image. Here we will upload the picture the way we did. So here is our picture. And then you can change the text here to market your own business. So this is the section and then we leave the paragraph. Whatever you want to do. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to add a call to action. So we have a nice website. We have 2 buttons. We have text and everything. So let's add another section, actually. So let's add a full width section with 1 column. Then we add an element. This time we are going to add a button to this. So remember, every time you have selected this, anytime it is selected, the panel here corresponds to this. So we are going to now see how we can customize this particular section. We're going to change the background color to green. They're going to chain the button. Let's see if we could change the color of the button. Letter spacing, shadow, font size. And then we have very icon picker. You can unpick icons or anything. And then you have the padding on the top. You see of this button here, the bottom, we can move this. And then left and right padding. Now margins. So let's say if we select this button here, see that margins. They're outside the box. Same thing here. If we want to give them a little margin, we can separate them like this, right? Okay, so the box we have here is no shadow. So we're gonna go to this one. Now, let's click on this button. We can change the text. Join us today to get the website so you could do that. Now, when somebody clicks on this, you can open a pop-up. You can send them to a URL hide element, scroll to an element at the same page. You can send them to a page and you can one-click up, down, sell product. So the idea is that anything that you select here will apply to this button when somebody clicks on it. So we did that. Now, this is the basic side of how to set up your button. Then you have the themes. You can pick any one of these themes. So let's say if we pick this theme, we change the color of this. And now in advance, we can have full border, solid border. Width is 3. We can make it 5 or we can make it 10. And then all edges radius. So we could play around with this side here. Alright, so let's add some shadow to the button. Hard shadow and border color. We can change it to the red color. So these are the things that you can make. This is our website. Let's see if we can add another section full width. Okay, that is a new section. We're going to separate that a little bit from the top one. And we're going to color this as we don't have the purple color. So we have this now. Right now we can add a row to this one column. So we're going to add like or 4 columns here. And then we can add one more box there. The idea is that we are looking to add subline. We want to add our services. Marketing, web, designing, SEO. By the same way, we have added an image, a text box and a map here. The idea is, you can add anything that you want to. So here in the bottom, we will write website copyright. We have created a website here and of course you can play around with it, you can get more creative. But as you are adding everything, make sure that after every section you save this right. Once it's saved, now you can actually go back to the other page. This is our website page now. You can come here anytime and edit it. So this is how you come in here. Contact us page right from here. So you have two options here. You can either go ahead and edit this page and start from the beginning, just like we did before, create the whole page again. Or the other option you have is you can actually go into this page. You already created this and you can clone it. So let's clone this page. When we do that, it says add to the same website. This will add to the current website, clone page, to this website. Or you can clone this same page to a different sub-account within your company. And also you can actually add there's multiple websites, so if you have a whole bunch of websites and you want to add this page to them, you can do that from here. So what we are saying is clone page in this website. So when we do that, you see, now we have cloned it here. So what are we going to do now is to make things easier for us, we are going to do some changes here, okay? We're going to change the name to, let's say, Contact Us. We save the page. So we already have a Contact Us. We just don't want to create this. We can actually delete it. So, yes, let's delete this. We have two pages now. Now let's go and change this page to our contact page. The only thing we want to do is here. We are going to delete this. And we are going to simply add a form here. Here we will add a Contact Us form. Now remember, you have to make this form beforehand. If you already have a form, then you can add that here. If not, we do have a separate video where we to show you how to create forms. Name, email, contact us. And then you can keep everything else the same. So this is how you create a beautiful website. Once you know how to work with this, then the sky is the limit, so you make sure that you fill up the title of this page, description, keywords, author, everything, and you are going to save everything and make sure that you have all of these details. So this way, both of your pages are going to be independently accessible and visible on Google. Okay, so let's see. So now we have a website here that we have created. Alright, so we have this website, and if we want a preview, we can click on this and that should give us a preview of the website. But you see, this is how we created this website. It's beautiful. It's nice. It's simple. You can play around with it and do anything but this domain. Remember I mentioned in the beginning that we can add a domain. So right now, this is in preview. But once you add your own domain to this, then that will appear here. Like I said, we have a different video for that. Let's see if we can go to contact page. We have already connected our clone contact page to the contact button in homepage. Let's click on contact. Great. Our website is working fine. We have created a simple and beautiful website so easily. This is it for this video. If you have any question or suggestion, please let us know. See you in next video.